I'm Brian Wilfong. I'm the Marketing and Public Relations Coordinator here at CTEC of Licking County. And today I have the great pleasure of being with Keisha Amspaugh, who is a graduate of one of CTEC's adult ed programs and works in public safety here in Licking County. And Keisha has a great story and I think an inspiring career path that we're anxious to share with you today. So Keisha, welcome.
Thank you
for agreeing to do this.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you doing right now, career-wise?
Currently, I am a full-time employee. I'm a full-time fireman here at Marion Township, and I am also serving the role as our assistant chief, the first female assistant chief at our department.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a Licking County native? Where did you grow up?
I am. I actually grew up in Newark until I was in the 5th grade, where we decided to move kind of to the country. Mm-hmm. So we moved to Marion Township when I was in the 5th grade, and I went to Marion Elementary, 2004 Licking Valley graduate.
Excellent. And so graduate from high school. Did you always know that you wanted to enter a career in public safety, or where did that kind of hit your radar?
Absolutely not. Actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a nurse. I started out nursing school, and due to financial reasons, I couldn't afford it. Out in the field, I got my STNA. I actually got that at CTEC as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I've been through several of your programs. I got my STNA there. I started working in a nursing home, and then I was offered a job in the Licking Memorial Emergency Department, and that is where my path kind of took a left. So when I started seeing the patients come in there, I realized that there were so many things being done before they even got to us, and that was very cool to me. So I decided I want to see what they do, which is when I enrolled in the CTEC EMT program. And I took one of the shorter programs. It was very fast. I was working night shift, and I actually did the program and got my EMT. So once I got my EMT, I decided to go on to fire, because you don't want to be on a fire scene and not be able to be useful in both ways. So I went through all 3 of your fire programs, and here I am.
So yeah. I'm really intrigued by something you said, that finances played an issue, right? With your post-secondary education.
Absolutely.
And that's for, I think, most people, because it's so prohibitive. Was CTEC more affordable, or was it just you were more inclined towards that path, or a bit of both?
I was really fortunate in that time in my life that my department here, they did give me that opportunity to be able to go to school. The biggest thing with CTEC was it was very flexible to an adult student.
Gotcha.
I was able to go, I think my EMT class was during the day, like 5 days a week. They had evening classes. That's how I did my fire classes. I had a little girl, and I went to school in the evening, and it was very flexible, and the learning experience was second to none.
Excellent. That's awesome. So kind of a diversion here, but you're a working mom. You have career and family.
Absolutely.
How do you balance that?
It's interesting. My husband is also a fireman, so
oh, wow.
Yep, he works for the state fire marshal's office, and we both we also work here. And I have 2 beautiful little girls. One is 12 and one is 5. And I'm just the same as everybody else. I'm a working mom. I have a career. I have a full-time job. I have laundry and dishes and cheer and all the things.
Sure. Oh, that's awesome. And then you save lives when you go to your job.
Yeah,
So you're going to school through CTEC Adult Ed and taking various programs. You're working during this time.
Absolutely.
Where did you start your career?
Here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Here.
So you've gone right up through the ranks.
Yes, sir. Yep. Right. I was a fireman here. I was an EMT, and I was bottom of the list, and I worked my way up as a lieutenant, and then I was promoted to captain, and then recently I was promoted to assistant chief.
One of the things that was interesting is you said in a previous conversation that you and I shared that why you got to where you were, that there were certain things that motivated you. Would you share that with us?
Sure. Being a female in a male-driven industry, not necessarily just the fire service, but in general, being one of the only girls, it was always one of those things that you always have motivators, and then you always have kind of the people that don't think you can do it. And one of the biggest reasons that I am where I am is because I was told before, you can't do that. You can't do that. You'll never be able to do that. You're not strong enough for that. But that's not true. You can do absolutely anything you put your mind to. And that was my biggest motivator, is if somebody told me they didn't think I could do it, I would do it twice.
And why do you think there was that resistance to you? Like you couldn't do it? Like, people said that you weren't strong enough. Did they mean physically or intellectually, or what was the motivation, you think?
I think that just being a female in a male world it was very uncommon when I started. And most of the women in the field were only in EMS, and they were not in the fire side. The fire side, this entire job is very, it's rough. There are days that you go from 0 to 60 in 0.2 seconds. I mean, it's a lot. It really is a lot. But, I don't know. Maybe part of it was just motivation. I don't know.
Like you had to prove yourself more than perhaps a man would.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And clearly you've met that challenge. So do you think that that's getting better, the perception in the field?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm really fortunate here. My chief is he's very supportive, and, he's told me before, and, when we did the interview with the advocate, he told her she has the same cards as any man out there. She has the same credentials. She passed the same test. Said that's just what it is.
And
absolutely.
And there's nothing to do with it. Do you have the skill or don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And, sometimes I almost feel like being a female is to my advantage. If I have a little one on a run, they're more apt to come to me than they would be to a 6'4" man.
Sure.
So, or, women in labor, in labor with a baby,
Absolutely.
they are way more comfortable with me than they would be with a man. So, yeah, I mean, it plays, it's both, it goes both ways.
Sure. So, Keisha, where do you see yourself 10, 15 years from now?
Oh, man. Here, I see myself here. I also work at Buckeye Lake Village Fire. And my motto has always been, I want to leave somewhere better than I arrived that day. And I've heard that so many times, and I guess I never realized that until I kind of stepped into this role, at how many girls are like, I didn't know it was possible. Like, yeah, honey, anything's possible.
So as a mother, you said you have 2 daughters.
Yes, sir.
Is there there's got to be a kind of a special pride with,
absolutely.
I have daughters and I'm doing this.
Yep. I tell my girls all the time, you can do anything you want to do.
I've enjoyed this time. I was thrilled to see the advocate's story about you. I think it's lovely that in Licking County we're seeing these things being celebrated and encouraged, and I'm sure we'll see your name again, perhaps with a chief in front of it someday.
You never know, maybe. Yeah. I have a great chief now, so we make a good team, and I'd like to be a team for some time.
Of longevity where you are, it sounds like you're a lifer, you're there, and you're committed to that community.
Yep, this is where I live. This is where my parents live. This is where I'm from. These are my roots. Absolutely.
Why do you think that's so important to you?
It really means something to go on some of these calls, and the people, their story, you know who they are, and you went to school with their kids, and it really is. This is my home. Like I said, I do work at Buckeye Lake, and there's something to be said for that too. I love to be a part of the change. I love to be a part of forward motion. That's what this job is about. It changes every day. It's changed so many times, even since I started. So to be a part of that change it's incredible. It's really incredible to be a part of something that is going to be forever in motion.
I don't have a better way to conclude that. Keisha, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you.
your time.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate your service and the example. You make SeaTech proud, obviously, but you also, I mean, just Licking County. I think when there are good people in the world, they make the places that we live good places to be. So thank you for your example and your service and your motivation. It's just, we appreciate it, and best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.